Well, good afternoon. This is Sarah, coming from your one good act of the day. And I have two to talk about today. One is about autism, and the other one is about reuniting a owner and their pet dog. So the first story comes from the BBC, and it's a really interesting story, and it's more about a father and his sons and a company that hires people with autism. So this is a firm in Santa Monica, which is an LA-based company that basically produces software and helps fix software-based bugs. And the name of the company is called Auticon. And it was founded by a guy named Gray Benoist, and he is the father of two autistic sons. And what he found was that his two adult autistic sons were having difficulty finding a job because when you think of people with autism, their mannerisms basically go against the grain of what we're taught when we're trying to find a job, which is, making eye contact with the person who's interviewing you, being social, answering those questions that they ask. And oftentimes people with autism can't do those things. So he started his company in 2013. It now has 150 employees. And he basically found a way to hire people with autism by changing the dynamics of the interview process, as well as changing the actual offices themselves. So when you think of a regular office, right, there's this, I think, expectation that you'll be social and that you'll go to lunch with people and that you'll communicate in a certain way. And again, people with autism don't, or maybe not be able to do that. So he basically changed the dynamics of the office. So some employees wear headphones to reduce their noise sensitivity. Some actually can work in a dark room if they have light sensitivity. There's no expectation of lunch, meaning that people don't have to take a lunch break. If folks have difficulty communicating person to person, they can use messenger apps to communicate their needs. And again, this is all producing a very high quality product at the same time. The interview process itself is basically for 4 weeks. So the people go through a process of a 4-week kind of in-house training to get a sense that A, they would be a good fit, and that B, that coding would be something that they would want to do. And sometimes it's not, just like everybody else. Sometimes you think you're good at one thing and you find out that you're not. But if they go through the 4-week program, let's see, what did I write? If you go through the 4-week program, then they offer the candidate a long-term position with their company. So there's also, in this article was also another interesting piece of information about another company that hires people with autism. And what they do is, instead of the candidate going through a typical interview process that we all are, kind of expect that we would do, they actually build a robot out of Legos. And this shows, obviously, their problem-solving skills as well as their commitment to a task. And if they complete the task well, then, they're evaluated based on what they're doing with the robot and the Legos. So I thought that was really interesting. I think oftentimes we end up, maybe hiring people that aren't good for the job, or we won't consider people because of particular issues that they may have. And I think in this case, you know, it's a company that offers a great deal of support for the people who work for the company with autism. It makes accommodations for them, but again, they still produce a quality product and also do a good job. So I just thought that that was a really nice story. And then the last, the second thing I found today, and I have to tell you, when you go through the number of papers and internet or online resources to find, you know, a good piece of information, it's pretty difficult. You know, there's a lot of bad stuff that is highlighted, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't know about it. I mean, you should, but it's hard to find, you know, that one good act for the day per se. But I did like the next story. It comes out of Tucson, and a person who worked for the Pima Animal Care Center found a terrier, a Yorkshire Terrier, kind of running around. And so fortunately, they were able to get the dog, brought it back to the animal care center, and then scanned it for a microchip. And a microchip, for those of you who might not know, is a small, it's a very small piece of, basically it's a reader that is administered underneath the subcutaneous tissue of a dog or cat. And it allows us in veterinary medicine or shelter medicine, we use a scanner, we scan the chip, and then it brings up the owner's information to contact the owner in case their animal gets lost. So come to find out that this dog, this Yorkshire Terrier, was reunited with their owner, this person's owner, and her name is Barbara Milbom. And she moved from Arizona to Arizona from Mississippi. And when the dog was around 3, they had a house break-in, and the dog was stolen. And so she hasn't seen her dog, or had not seen her dog, for 4 years. But when she moved, she decided to keep her old contact information, because that's what was in the microchip-based database. So these folks from Pima scanned the dog, come to find out it's an owned dog, contacted the owner, of course hasn't seen her dog in 4 years because it had been stolen, and is now going to be reunited with the owner, with Barbara. And the dog's name is, let's see, what's the dog's name? Is Harley. And it's a very cute Yorkshire Terrier. You can actually see the dog and the folks at Pima Animal Care on Twitter at Pima Animal Care. Scroll down. I'm going to try to put a little picture of this dog up on the channel. But anyways, this is not only a nice, you know, thing that these folks did. They did the right thing. They scanned the dog and united the dog with their owner, but it's also, get on my little soapbox here, it's important to microchip your pets because of this very thing. Dogs and cats get out accidentally, or they could get stolen, and if they are ever brought to a humane society or shelter, they typically are scanned for a microchip. And if you keep that information in the microchip database updated, they can be reunited with their owner. So that's what I have for today. Hopefully, as the year progresses, we'll get some more one good act or many good acts. Again, pretty hard to find in our periodicals. But if you have done a good act, or you know somebody who did, let me know in the comment section, and I will see you tomorrow.